Good evening and welcome back to Be Rich. I am still in Singapore and so is Vinod with me. So we thought and we'll discuss an interesting topic of how an opportunity comes, like Warren Buffett got Amex way back in the 60s with the saltwater scandal. Say, what is also known as the salad oil scandal or the saltwater scandal, where Amex thought it was holding salad oil in its storage warehouse, whereas it was actually salt water. And everybody thought it's all hell broke loose, and everybody thought American Express is dead. It took Warren Buffett to do work and find out that Amex will survive. What do I mean by that fact that you have got another opportunity? The opportunity is, of course, Nestle. Nestle has been going through troubled times, both globally and somewhat in India too. In India, the sales have not gone up. A new CEO has taken over, and the old CEO who handled the Maggie scandal has left. And before he left, he said the middle class is not consuming. In the global pattern pecking order, a CEO was originally fired because he handled the energy drink very poorly and he did not do the desired numbers. A new CEO was brought in and he was supposed to be the wonder kid. After some time, the CFO and others started to complain, saying this guy was doing favoritism and he seems to have had a illicit relationship with an employee. And initially, he covered up the whole thing by saying that nothing of that sort is true, and he kept saying that he had investigated everything and found nothing. But the complaints persisted. The CFO decided to complain. And once the CFO complained, the board had to investigate. The board investigated the matter and found that indeed he had an illicit relationship with the employee. Same thing like in a Coldplay concert. A CEO and the HR were having a good time and the spotlight fell on him. And then they had to scramble to do damage control. Nestle decided to take the high moral ground and decided to fire the CEO. And since you ran through two CEOs in a year, the price of Nestle has crashed from 120 Swiss francs to 72 Swiss francs because this is a Swiss company. And the franc has also strengthened against the US dollar. So to discuss this, I have with me my brother VinodSrinivasan and find out why this is an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm curious to know, as investors, we always talk about corporate governance being important, and who are running the company, the promoters are important. In the case of Nestle, the promoters more so than because it's a very old company. It is the board and the
institutional investors who are the long-term guys.
Yeah.
So we are always worried about abuse of power.
Correct.
And here
they demonstrated that it is ironclad.
Yes.
Some guys done some hanky-panky, whatever it is. I mean, doesn't matter. But they have a set rules, and if anyone breaks the rules, including the guy running the show, he gets the can. And they showed that. So shouldn't the market be rewarding this and pushing? Why would the market lose confidence further?
I don't understand because I think their sales number didn't do as well.
No, that is true. Yes. But those are all transitory, right?
This is transitory because Nestle has a lot of powerful brands.
Yes.
And they'll keep adding brands.
Yes.
And Nestle is a global brand, has a huge brand in India itself.
Yes.
It's Nestle Milkmaid, Nescafe, Nestle Sunrise, and Kit Kat, Maggie. All these are huge brands, and these brands are not going to disappear.
Yeah, and then they're all into milk products for babies and baby formula.
Baby formula and all those stuff. And they have quality sweets, Toberlin, and they sell Nestle water. And they say Nestle sells a lot more products in countries, even in frontier markets like Pakistan, they are very active.
Correct. So, in India, when the Maggie scandal happened, the stock didn't even break. We're still sitting at 77 PE ratio.
Yeah.
While there in Switzerland, like you always say, look at the parent company because everything in profits made in India is taken back.
Yes.
To the Swiss
in royalty.
So, it is sitting at 17 times earnings. I mean, that's like a phenomenally huge ocean
Yes.
difference. I mean, the scales are
And
like
this is
this.
what I was telling also. Same is the case in Hyundai, where Hyundai's market cap is $40 billion worldwide, and the India market cap is $22 billion.
Yeah.
So Indians like to overpay for things. So you get the entire Nestle, including 70% of India, for some very cheap 17 times earnings. Whereas in India alone, you are willing to pay 77 times earnings.
But the funny thing is, historically, Indians are always known as bargain hunters. Have this brand all over the world, wherever we go, that we haggle, haggle, haggle. But for some weird reason, in the stock market alone, we don't seem to be haggling. We seem to be willing to pay excess, excess, excess. Whatever the market is demanding, we are ready to pay.
No, this is because there are few high quality stocks in India,
Okay.
where they know what you see is what you get.
Okay.
So there's a premium for transparent books.
Okay.
Most Indian corporates have no transparent books.
Okay.
Let's take Reliance for an example. You have to go through their maze of companies, and to really figure out what is happening in Reliance, you have to be a genius. You have to be an accounting genius. I'm not saying anything is illegal, but if the kind of maze of labyrinth of companies to track promoter holding is very difficult.
Correct. Anand is absolutely right. We are not saying there's anything nefarious happening. It's just that to understand if the profitability numbers are where they are supposed to be, meaning is the value really there, or are we paying too much for a company, we can only ascertain by looking at the numbers. And if the numbers are not clear and transparent, easy for a layman like me or you to understand, that leads to a problem. And in the case of these MNCs, because they are, like Nestle, exactly the reason corporate governance in Switzerland is so strict, the European laws are so strict. In the case of Korea, the laws are so strict and their cultures are so strict that Indians feel that, at least in this case, we are better off even if we have to pay a premium, because at least we know what we are seeing is what we are getting.
And the point is that in India there's a glut of mutual funds. The mutual funds have very few quality stocks to invest, and therefore they invest in this. And the floating stock here is very low. The parent will own a substantial portion of the stock, nearly 75%.
Correct.
So the floating stock available is also very low. Both these reasons put together make it very difficult for low valuations. The amount of Nestle stocks available is less. The amount of mutual funds chasing those stocks is very high because they need quality. And it is very difficult to find out what is promoter integrity in India. This is promoter integrity.
Correct.
I am not saying the other fellows are guilty, but there was news about a JSW chairman, a lady a medical student filing a claim against the JSW chairman, but nothing happened, and the case was just buried. And there was almost an FIR, and he said he is innocent. Of course he could be innocent, but something happened. Same thing happened with Jubilant Pharmaceuticals. The owner was caught compromising in position with a lady in Singapore, and nothing much happened. So which is taken far for the course in India. Whereas in countries like Switzerland or America, Americans can do what they want, the Swiss can do what they want, but the chairman of a company is supposed to be like a pope.
Okay.
So
even their politicians are not hit to help this level.
Yeah, and so what happens is, when you have an affair with somebody in your company, whether you did favoritism or not, it is assumed that you did favoritism and you are sacked.
Okay. But this also, the flip of it is, because the market reacted the way it reacted, we do have an opportunity at 17 times earning Nestle. If
you can start buying Nestle, you can start considering or buying Nestle in Europe at this time, and hope that it goes down further so that you get a chance. But 5 years later, you could get like Google, a big breakthrough.
Correct. So remember to investigate and do your studies.
Yes, but you do look at Nestle, you look at its numbers, look at what happened over 5 years before taking a call. Anyway, thank you for supporting Be Rich. I hope you enjoyed this video. Kindly send this video to your friends and relatives and have them take a look. Once again, I thank you for your support for Be Rich.
Thank you.